Governor, I just dropped you off at 5:55 at the airport, and here we are again.
Yeah, Alex, I feel like you're in my back pocket. I've been together with you so much. No, the flight got delayed a little bit, and so I got into Minneapolis a little later than expected. I didn't actually touch down on the ground until about a little over an hour ago.
And you had some headwinds, too, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. There must have been, because like I said, it got delayed about 15 at Austin, and then it actually ended up a delay of about 40 flying through the air, so there must have been some pretty good winds up there.
Well, your flight was...
a little bit, but it's a good flight because you walk away from it.
Well, your flight was 30 minutes early getting here, so I guess you had tailwinds then. Well, bottom line, you got back safe, and we appreciate you coming down. Hey, what was the... I mean, you've been out at Willie's place before, but we got the grand... treatment this time. That was pretty amazing.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Willie owns a beautiful ranch down there in Austin. He sits right on top of the hill. The view from his place is just breathtaking, and his place is very uniquely built, so architecturally and all that. So it's a lot of fun to walk around it and see it. And then, of course, he's got his whole western town out there that you can spend time in. It's like walking onto the set of Gunsmoke. And so going to Willie's is always an adventure. He's a terrific guy and one heck of a talent. Of course, I'm speaking to the choir because, everybody in Texas knows that well and around the country knows it well. But he's just a basic guy. What I love about Willie's, for all the fame and fortune that Willie has, he's still a down-to-earth type guy who really has feelings for the regular human being out there. And you can tell it by what Willie does, with all of his farm aid. He's always out to help people. In fact, that's probably one of his problems is he always tries to help people too much, and he gets caught up in all the things that he's doing all the time, and I'm sure it's difficult to keep it all straight for him.
Yeah, certainly a lot of stuff going on. Shifting gears into the election overall, tell us about that T-shirt.
Oh, well, I actually got that T-shirt I was wearing in Arizona when I was out there doing 9/11 for the anniversary and out there. And it's a big red T-shirt, and at the top in white lettering it says 2008 election, and it's got McCain with a box, Obama with a box, and anyone but with a box. And on this particular T-shirt, anyone but has the check mark. Not Obama and not McCain, anyone but. And that's kind of how I feel, Alex, because I won't vote Democrat, I won't vote Republican. They're the ones that have gotten us into this economical mess. I think I said it before on your show, I'll say it again. Nobody in these two parties paid attention to that federal deficit. They're still not paying attention to that federal deficit, and we cannot have a vibrant economy when you have that type of debt hanging over your head constantly. They must cut government spending. They must do that in which to get rid of that debt, and once they get rid of that debt, the economy and the value of the dollar will start coming back.
You've had more time now. I mean, you were against it from day one, but you've had more time to look at the bailout. I've got the New York Times, Senator Dodd today. Senator predicts revolution if banks don't lend. That's the New York Times. He says that they're hoarding the money. They're not even giving it out to get the economy going.
Well, then why did we give it to them?
It's unbelievable.
It's our money, and it's supposed to come back to us, isn't it? I mean, I don't understand the whole thing to begin with. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Absolutely. And
I mean, it's confusing because it's our money. So in other words, we're giving our money to the government, who's giving it to the banks, who then are supposed to give it back to us?
Yeah, let me read the quote. This is Senator Dodd, New York Times, Sunday. If it turns out they're hoarding, you'll have a revolution on your hands. People will be so livid and furious that their tax money is going to line their pockets instead of doing the right thing. There will be hell to pay, Dodd told the New York Times this weekend.
Well, Alex, it doesn't surprise me because has George Bush done anything right yet?
Well, he's done stuff right for his buddies, but no.
Well, no. I mean, for the country and in his job. No. I can't think of one thing that he's done right yet. So why would I think that all of a sudden he will do something right when he's only got a couple months to go till he jumps ship and leaves us all on this big sinking ship that he put holes into?
I'm laughing, but I'm almost crying here.
Well, no, it's pathetic. You do want to cry about it, but I mean, I urge everybody. People may not be an Oliver Stone fan, but go see the movie W, because it'll show you really kind of in its own way, a bit of a sarcastic look on Bush's life, and you see that everything he did, he left in disarray. Everything.
Well, he's certainly a puppet. Before we get into Dean Barkley, and I want to get into that in just a minute. You never said vote for Barack Obama, but I remember about 8 months ago here on the show, you said, because he was saying he was going to get us out of the war, he was going to say no to wiretapping, and you said, look out, Barack Obama, look out for assassination. But now it seems you've soured towards him even more in the interviews we did.
Oh, well, because he's already fudging, for lack of better term. Now it's, we're not going to immediately leave Iraq. And now it's, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. See, he's getting caught up into the same two-party quagmire or the two-party dictatorship that we now live under. I'll be the first one, and I hope that Alex, I hope I can say I'm wrong. I hope I can come on your show a year or two from now and say, I was wrong, Alex, because I'll admit when I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. I'm not a perfect person, and I hope I can do it. But all these people that think this massive change is going to take place because you're now going to elect a Democrat, I got news for you, people. Democrats have been getting elected for a long, long time, and nothing changes.
They've been in there since 2006. The war's still going.
That's right, and there's not any hint that we're getting out any sooner or anything of that nature. It becomes it's laughable to the point you want to cry.
Now there is a silver lining to all this. Let's get into Senator, because he was there for a month or so after Wellstone's tragic death in that plane crash. Dean Barkley, tell us about this guy, and it's a close race, and we're coming down here in the last 8-9 days.
Dean is sitting right now. Let me put it to you this way for you and all your listeners, Alex. There would be no Governor Jesse Ventura without Dean Barkley, Senator Dean Barkley, because he was the guy up here in Minnesota that went out on the line before I ever got involved much in politics, and he ran and got my party, the Independence Party, the third party movement of Minnesota going by he got enough votes and he busted his butt that he got us in our state. If you get over 5% of a statewide vote, that then makes you major party. You then achieve major party status. Well, coming along with major party status generally means you get to participate in the debates, which is essential. Like at the national level, they hold the bar there at about 15 or 20% to keep any third party from debating. And even when Ross Perot got damned 19.7%, if you remember, they didn't even let him in the debates in '96 after he got 1 out of 5 votes because they raised the bar even higher again. Well, in Minnesota, fortunately, when you get 5%, if you achieve that, then you're allowed in the debates. Pretty much. There have been exceptions where they have excluded people.
But that's
and
good.
One of them was the reason I named Dean Barkley a senator, because when Senator Wellstone was killed in the plane crash, I was going to name the winner of the election so that they would have seniority, but then when Walter Mondale, the Democrat, came in to replace Wellstone, he would not debate unless our candidate was excluded, and they did it. So then I got angry. I thought, how dare them? How can they exclude the party that the seated governor belongs to? So that was at the point that I named Dean Barkley the U.S. Senator, which he was the most productive senator in 4 weeks in Minnesota history, for the 4 weeks that he was in Washington until the end of the year. But he is now running, and Alex, he's right in the position I was in. He's polling a little over 20% with a week to go. That's right where I was at, and he needs some funding. This is a guy, we don't take PAC money. We don't take special interest money. We don't have a national party, so we're at an extreme disadvantage. And I'm appealing to all your listeners out there. It's SenatorBarkley.com over the internet. This is a guy like Dr. Paul. He's the independent. He believes in the Constitution. And we've got to break this two-party, and he needs to raise about 35 to 50,000 by Wednesday.
Because he's got the TV ads, and to explain, it's a three-way race. He's only like 5 points behind the others.
He's about 10 behind, but that don't mean nothing in the last week because there's 30% of Minnesotans that still say they're undecided.
Yeah, I was talking to him this morning about that, so we have a chance to get him in.
Yes, we do. If people will step forward, this is a critical event if they can help Dean out.
Because he's already got, what, he was telling me like 100 and something thousand for the TV ads. He needs another 30 to 40. He'll be able to run the full package. And I think he said he spent something like 100,000, and they've spent millions, and he's close to being able to beat them. We're going to come back and talk to Jesse Ventura and Mr. Barkley.